everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Erica of Ricky Mickey Plans, and I am here to plan in my classic size happy planner for the week of December 7th through the 13th. And I'm going to start by taking my pages out because it's so much easier to work with them if you do. Okay, so this week I'm still doing Christmas because I do Christmas all of December most of the time. And this is kind of my color palette. I understand that this is chalkboard. I'm going to scoop my, there we go. I understand that this is chalkboard, but I usually slice it so it's just the green because I love this shade of green and I can't find it in washi anywhere else. And then I have this kind of peachish, pinkish, beigeish color, and then like a deep red. So that is my palette this week. Pretty predictable, I guess, but it's what I'm doing. Okay, so the things I have to do. I have to put in my boxes for my activities and appointments, after which I will have to put in my icons. I also have to put bullet lists or to-do lists. I also like to put some washi and then just some decorations. So those are the 5 things that I want in my planner. So I'm going to start with the activities and appointments because this is, after all, a planner and needs to be functional. So I will start with that. So at this point I decided to speed up the video and just do a voiceover the next day because when I was doing my planning last night I really just wanted to relax. I'm looking for boxes that match these poinsettias. The boxes I had at first were a little too pink, so I found a red one in this botanicals book, but as you can see I'm not finding a whole lot more in the way of boxes. You know, there are red boxes everywhere, but I'm looking for this deep, deep red and I just can't find it. And so I look in this student book and there's sort of a version of it. I'm getting frustrated, so I work on something else. So I want to go ahead and put the virtual schooling stickers at the top of each day of the week, at least each weekday. And because they're teeny tiny little white stickers, I'm afraid they'll get lost on the page, so I want to back them with some washi. I was going to use that tan washi, but I don't know, I wasn't feeling it. It was a little wider than I wanted, so I'm going with this green washi. Again, if you look closely, you can see that this washi is a chalkboard washi. It just looks like a chalkboard. And while as a teacher I have nothing against chalkboards, I just don't want this to look like a school spread. So I'll take this washi and put it on my cutting mat, and I will hold my ruler down really firmly against the mat and just slice lengthwise. And so it cuts off some of the lines that give it the chalkboard look, and it also makes it thinner. And I don't know, I think the lines still sort of look like stitching, so I don't know, I can't tell. It might still look like a chalkboard or it might not. But honestly, I love this shade of green and I can't find this shade of green in washi. It's like just right. It doesn't have any, you know, it has the right amount of blue in it, the right amount, it's just a good shade of green to me. So I have done this with this washi dozens of times. And so now if I just put a little chunk of it at the top of each day, as you'll see I'll do, I can eventually go back and put my little virtual school stickers that I made on top of it, and you'll be able to see them a little bit better. And I don't know why, but I didn't really want them to look like one straight line across the top. I wanted to stagger them. I think it also made it it made it easier to look at it and know that they were different days, so that's why I did it that way. And these little stickers are just tiny, but I don't need to draw huge attention to the fact that it's virtual schooling right now. Like, I know it. I just want it, you know, for a record. Alright, so now I'm ready to start tackling some boxes again. I put that first red box I found, and then I decided to go to the student book and pull some kind of pinky peach boxes out. I think it'll soften the palette. And remember the washi that I showed you at the beginning, that there was that taupey, peachy, pinky washi. This is similar. It's not exactly, but it's similar to that. And I think it just softens up the harshness of the red and green. I'm no artist, but I do know that since red and green are opposite on the color wheel, they're very stark against each other, and so I feel like the pinky peach just like I said, softens it up. So as you can see, I take these Post-its off as I replace them with a sticker, and I just move them to next week because they are events that happen every week. Things like practices and meetings and things like that. Church, things that happen every week. So I just put them on a Post-it and just scooch them over. And I'm just doing a mixture of red boxes that I can find, which are hard to find, peachy pink boxes that I can find, and then black boxes as well. I actually don't think I have any green boxes that fit this color scheme. They're all a different shade of green, and so I went with the red. Since it was poinsettias anyway that I was kind of basing it off of, I feel like the red is much more dominant than the green is. This sticker here I'm putting on right now, it's not exactly the right shade of red, but I think once it all comes together, it works. So now I'm moving on to icons. I like to put an icon. I like using icons in my planner. It's an easy way to decorate, visual interest, as well as label the boxes so I don't have to actually write as much. I don't have to write the word dance practice. I just stick this little dancer on there and I know it's dance practice. And so then all I have to do is put the time, or if it's in a different place, put that, something like that. So that is a nice thing to be able to do. And I forgot that I needed to add a few more boxes, so I went and grabbed a few more. My daughter's violin lesson's usually on Friday, but it got moved to Sunday this coming week, so had to put another box down. That's why we have the planner, so we remember stuff like that, right? Exactly. Label shot night and trash night. Yeah, we have somebody in our family who has to have a shot, and so we do it on the same night as trash night, so we don't forget. Label my game nights, which are virtual, but I've stopped putting the Zoom and the Google Meet stickers on those. I don't know. I guess we've done it enough now that I don't feel the need to label that anymore. Alright, so remember at the beginning of the video when I listed the 5 things I want to do before I get to decorating, because this is the order I go in. I want to get the nitty-gritty done first, so I get the appointments and activities down, and then I also want to get my to-do lists in there. And I decided to go with bullet points this week instead of the pre-made checklist from Happy Planner, because the checklists often have like 5, 6, 7, even 8 things to do in a day, and I don't like putting that many things if I don't need to. I don't know, I just don't feel the need to force myself to overextend myself. So when I do bullet points, I can say I'm only going to put 2 major things down for today. So that's why I went with these bullet points. Although I don't love those pinkish red triangles, but we'll see about that. It's time to start thinking of decor now. So like I said, these poinsettias were kind of my jumping off point. So I cut a few up and stick them on there, and I'm going to try to use every poinsettia in this book because they're little enough that I should be able to fit them. And there are also 2 poinsettias in another book that I think I'm going to pull out too. Is it poinsettia or poinsettia? I don't know. The debate's out. I say poinsettia. I don't know, but I think it could be poinsettia. I'm not sure. So, some of them I cut up, some of them I leave whole. I like this wreath. I could have put some white out on that line that runs down the center of the wreath, but I just didn't. It's okay like this. I enjoy putting the words to do or something like that at the top of my bullet point, my checklists. I know it's not necessary, but it makes me happy. So I add these, and I'll grab some green ones in a little bit as well. And I want something for that top left corner, but I'm just not finding anything here. So I quit for a little bit and get some more to-dos out of another book, and they're a little wide and they don't have any interest on the long end, so I just cut them off and make them shorter. I kind of wish I'd have cut them like a banner kind of a cut, but I didn't. But honestly, that's something that's easy enough to go back and change later if I want. So I think, speaking of that banner kind of a look, I think I'm going to try just using some washi as little ribbons hanging down. And so I cut them at an angle at the bottom. Again, that banner kind of a look. And I'm just using those same 3 washis I showed you earlier. Having trouble cutting this skinny one, and just cutting them at the ends with that little, banner look. This red was too wide to fit in the space I had left, so I again made it a little narrower, and yeah, just cut it down, no big deal. Cut this across the top, but I need to be able to put December in that box, or up there somehow, so I need to add some sort of a box. So I tried the gold one. I do end up sticking with it. I don't love it because it doesn't stretch the length of my banners, but it's okay. It's okay. Not a big deal. So add a few more poinsettias just for some interest and, to keep the theme going, because that is, the joy of this is decorating. So I want to decorate. It's functional because it's my planner, but it's fun and pretty, so there you go. So I'm just going to stick a whole bunch of poinsettias down here. So do you remember me saying that those pink triangle bullet points were too pink for me? They really are. So I'm going to take those off and replace them with some of these teeny weeny tiny poinsettias. I don't usually use pictures as bullet points. I know I've seen lots of other people do it. I don't usually do it because I don't know. Sometimes I confuse. I don't want to say I confuse it, but it's easy to confuse decor with function when you do that. But I think these are small enough that I can pull it off. So took those off and replaced them with some poinsettias, and I'm much happier with those. And after that, I really just go crazy and put every poinsettia I can find in these sticker books on this spread, because if I'm doing it, I might as well go all the way. Something is still missing, so I decide to use a little bit more washi. I don't cut it into the little banner ends. I just put them on the page with like a torn edge. I don't know. It might work. It might not. It is filler. I'm just admitting it's filler because visually it was just looking a little empty to me. So the red was fine, but I add in some of this peachy pinky taupe. That needs to be a color. Peachy pinky taupe. I add in some of that and then some of the green. Just cluster them in little washi clusters. Again, I know they mean nothing, but visually, I just think they fill things up. And since they're washi, if I end up having to write things on those days more than I'm expecting to, I can pull that up. Washi pulls up really easy if you haven't used washi much. Real washi just pulls up, like it doesn't stick very much. So, yeah. So I think I'm going to call that my spread. That was my attempt at doing red and green, but soft. I don't know if I pulled it off or not, but I tried. So thanks for watching. If you liked, give me a little thumbs up, give me a subscribe, give me a share, give me some opinions down at the bottom, and thanks for watching.